Alright y'all, today we're going to be replacing the wheel bearing on my Mark III Supra. I think prior to me buying it, it might have been hit on the passenger side here. I noticed that the passenger fender is just slightly different color. It's more of a pearl white, and the rest of the car is more of a, just I guess a non-pearl or regular white. And there's some indications that it may have been maybe hit on this side at one time, and I get a lot of vibration and noise coming from this side of the wheel. Some of you may say, oh, it's just your wheel out of balance, or whatever, you need hub-centric rings or whatever that is. Yep, I've got all those things are fine. However, the when I spin the hub with the wheel off, it makes somewhat of a, let's see, what's the best way to describe, maybe like wah, 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 wah. I don't know, does that make sense? Well, it makes something like that, so leads me to believe that the wheel bearings inside are probably wasted. So got a replacement here. You can get this part from driftmotion.com. That's where I bought this one. This is a OEM replacement, probably exactly what came in there from the factory. Just doesn't say Toyota on it. Probably because of the simple fact is this part is now discontinued for Toyota. I don't know if any other cars use this same part number, but anyways, OEM replacement, that's going to go in. I hear the hardest part of doing this replacement is actually taking it to a shop and pressing the old bearings out and the new ones in. However, if you do have your own press, good on you. Should be fairly easy. But I'm limited to those tools. So once I take everything off, I'll be taking it to my local auto shop and see if they can press those in. So cool, I'll send you progress as I go. So I got the wheel off. As you can see, I have some hub-centric rings here for the rotor. This is a custom Brembo setup here, and the hub diameter of the rotor is slightly larger than the hub outside diameter of the Supra. So you got to put these in there. Does it make a whole lot of difference? Who knows? In my situation, because I have the vibration issue and the noise, to me I don't see a difference, but hopefully this will show that it is working properly once I get everything removed. If you want to look here, this castle nut here, I don't know if you can see it that well, has to come off. There's one that's got to come off down here. Tie rod in here, and a few others. Then you pull the hub out. Oh, here we go. Alright, so we got all the castle nuts ready to go. There's 1, 2, and 3. You got to take the cotter pins out. Some of these are so old, may not even ever been removed, but mine just got destroyed. I wasn't going to try and save them. I'll just buy new ones. So these come out here, and then you need to pop this out. Now if you can do it with everything still bolted on, that's ideal, because then you can get the 32mm socket back here and take out the nut that's holding it in place. What I'm gonna do, since it's a little difficult for me to get in here and get it, is just remove it from these 3 nuts here, and then while it's on the ground, then remove this piece here, then put it back on, slightly snug them down. That way I have some leverage to crack that nut. Y'all see that? 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Alright. We got the front hub assembly off. 1, 2, 3. And the direction I had to remove it was tie rod first, upper control arm second, and lower control arm third. So here it is. Turn this thing over. As you can see, it's really dirty in there. A lot of oil buildup, which again leads me to believe that something's leaking. Bearings are bad. So this is a piece that has to come out right here. Alright, we got the little cap off. I had to actually puncture a hole in it, which probably wasn't the best idea. So now it's going to let dust in, but let's see if I can bend that piece back, seal it up as much as possible. But here's the nut. I don't know if you can see at an angle here, the bearings. So, I don't know. I'm hoping this is it. This is the reason why it's making all that noise. But it's already open, it's off. Now you just gotta remove it. You gotta open this stake part, open here, and then put the 32 on top. Take it out. So now at this point, I'm gonna put the whole assembly back on and thread it in a couple turns and then crack this nut, because it being down here, I don't have a vise or anything that can stabilize this from moving. So next best thing is just to put it back on. Alright, so got the new bearing pressed in. Kind of see some of the grease around there. The actual hub itself spins a lot tighter and quieter than it did before. I didn't get to see the actual old bearing when it got removed. The guy at the shop said that they were pretty bad. When he pulled everything out, the bearings just kind of just fell out. So I'm glad this new one's in here ready to go. Well, after looking at some of my ball joints here, they're pretty wasted. So I just decided that I'm just going to replace them. So the order's in. Just got to wait for overnight parts from Japan. We'll be back. So there's a bunch of stuff down here now. So got the lower ball joint here. This one is somewhat fairly new within the last couple years. However, it doesn't seem like it wants to hold grease that well. See how flat this is up top? When others are like balloons, and I don't know why this one is not holding. Let's see, we got the upper control arm. This one's pretty wasted also. Smashed down, pretty flat. So we've got these two out. And then, where's the tie rod? There we go. And here's the tie rod. Look at it, this thing is wasted also. Look. Just smashed. So, again, all these are going to get replaced here real soon. Just waiting on overnight parts from Japan. Fast and the Furious reference. So I installed the new lower ball joint. This was the old one. I don't know how well you can see in there. I don't know if this was necessarily bad or not. It didn't really appear to be bad as far as the vertical play in the wheel. When the wheel's on, you know, you can kind of do a test, lift the wheel up and down, and this portion here kind of just pops up and down. Usually that means the ball joint inside is bad. Didn't really see that in the old one. However, to rule out any of that vibration and everything that I was experiencing, Just wanted to replace everything, make sure everything was good. Now, I didn't replace these here. These are the sway bar end links, maybe, if that's what they're called. They could be wrong, but these also look pretty worn as well. I'm sure I would definitely benefit from replacing these. I'm just not going to do it at this time. Here's the tie rod, the new one here, and here I've got the new upper control arm. Let's see if I can get this out here with one hand. Alright. So here it is. Comes with this little boot thing on top. Just take this off. And here we go. Here's the new one. This one's going to be going on here in a couple minutes. Just like that. There's the knuckle, spindle, hub, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I know I shouldn't be letting my caliper hang like that, but we're gonna get everything put back together, put everything on. I've got another tie rod in that's gonna go on the driver's side. Hopefully I should get it tomorrow and slap that one on, take it to go get an alignment, and see where it goes from there. Alright, so we got everything on. Everything went in really smooth. Upper control arm. Tie rod in. And roller ball joint. So, everything's going back in. You may wonder why I have this hub ring on this side and not on the other side, the outside of the rotor. It's because I'm using a custom brake setup, and with this custom brake setup, unfortunately these rotors do not belong to a Toyota, so the hub diameter is bigger. So me putting that in there covers it up. It's actually from a 350Z track version. Alright y'all, everything's already put back together. All the new pieces, calipers on, everything's good to go. Alright, here's the old pieces here. As you can see, pretty worn down. Like, look at this guy. I don't think there's anything left. This upper control arm here, this thing's pretty bad. Could be original from 1989. This one isn't original. This was replaced a couple years ago. But like I said, with going in, trying to eliminate possibilities of what could be making this vibration, just wanted to replace it. They're fairly cheap anyway, probably under 40 bucks. And there it is. Some of you wondering what brake setup I'm running here. This is from an S500 Mercedes-Benz, and this rotor is from a 350Z track version, which is the one that come with the gold color Brembo calipers on the 350Z and quite possibly the G35. This is about 12 3/4 inch diameter. I have heard, however, it's best to use the Mercedes-Benz R350 rotor because that's a full 330 millimeter, 13 inch, and fits a little bit better in here. The only difference is, yeah, bolt pattern is going to be 5 by 112 on the Mercedes-Benz rotor, but you can get them re-drilled for 5x114 and call it a day. It is also recommended to put those hub-centric rings on the inside. These are the aluminum ones. Don't get the plastic ones. Those ones will break over time. But we'll see how it is. I'll let you guys know. Thanks.